The star of our show today is the Dolitech waterproof F540 3300 kV brushless RC car motor plus 68 ESC combo set. Yeah. Yeah, that was a mouthful, isn't it? But seriously, that's the actual name. Your source mentioned this specific set. It was used for 110 scale RC cars and some video, and you can just grab it off Amazon. So our mission, if you will, is to see what we can learn from just this. This one product spec. Why all the jargon? Why does it matter? What's your first take when you hear a name like that? It sounds like pure tech spec.
It really does. But, you know, it's fascinating how much is actually encoded in there. It's like a tiny little summary. You see waterproof, brushless, 3300 kV, 68 ESC, and right away for a 110 scale RC car. That paints a pretty clear picture. Each one of those terms, it's not just random. It signals something specific about performance, about where you'd use it. It tells a story.
A story from a product name. Okay, I like that. So it's more than just a list of features. It implies context, use case.
Exactly. It implies intent, engineering choices. Let's take waterproof, for instance.
Yeah, let's start there. You said it suggests where it might operate, but I mean, couldn't that just be marketing? You know, waterproof on the box? How do we know it's a real, deliberate engineering thing?
That's a fair point. But for RC components, especially the motor and the ESC, the electronic speed controller, making them truly waterproof it's a serious undertaking. It means sealed casings, maybe potting the electronics, using materials that won't corrode easily, ensuring the connections can handle getting wet, puddles, mud, maybe even snow or light rain.
Okay, so it's not trivial.
Not at all. It costs more to do properly. So it signals durability, right? It tells you this isn't just for driving on a nice, dry, paved surface. The user they're targeting probably wants to bash around outdoors, maybe go off-road, deal with unpredictable conditions. It points to a more rugged use case.
Right. Anticipating how people will actually use it. That makes sense. Okay, what about brushless? That's another term you hear thrown around a lot. Better performance, sure. But why? What's the core difference?
Brushless. Yeah, that's a big one. So older motors, the brushed kind, literally had small carbon brushes inside. These brushes physically rubbed against a part called the commutator to get power to the rotating part of the motor.
Okay, I can already imagine the problem there. Friction, wear and tear.
Exactly. Friction, heat, sparks, and the brushes wear down over time and need replacing.
Yeah.
Brushless motors, they ditch the brushes completely. They use electronics, the ESC actually, to switch the power around. So way less friction, much less heat, nothing really to wear out physically in the same way.
And that translates to?
Much higher efficiency. More of the battery's power turns into actual rotation, not just heat. Plus, you generally get more power, higher speeds, faster acceleration. And they last a lot longer with less maintenance. For RC cars, especially at 110 scale, it means, well, much more punch. More speed, more fun, less fiddling. It's definitely a step up.
Okay, efficiency, power, longevity. Got it. Now the numbers, this is where it gets really specific. 3300 kV and 68 ESC. You said kV is speed, ESC is capacity. Can you break down what those specific numbers tell us? Like, what does 3300 kV feel like in an RC car? And why pair it with a 60 amp ESC?
Right, let's get into the numbers. So kV means RPM per volt. 3300 kV rating is, well, it's pretty quick for a 110 scale car, especially with the typical batteries used. It suggests this motor is designed for speed. High RPMs, good top end. It's probably not ideal for something like rock crawling where you need slow, controlled torque. This is more about going fast.
So built for speed, ripping around a track or a field.
Yeah, exactly. Thrill factor. Now, the 60A ESC, the ESC, the electronic speed controller, is crucial. It takes the signal from your radio receiver and tells the motor how fast to spin, drawing power from the battery. The 60A 60 amps, that's its current handling capability. A 3300 kV motor, especially when you push it hard, can draw a significant amount of electrical current.
So the ESC needs to be able to supply that current without melting?
Pretty much. Or shutting down, or just not delivering the power the motor wants. A 60 amp ESC is a decent rating, suggesting it's robust enough to handle the demands of that 3300 kV motor under load. You need them matched. Too small an ESC, and it'll overheat or cut out. Too weak a motor for the ESC isn't really an issue, but you want them balanced. This pairing suggests a system designed to deliver that speed reliably.
Okay, so they're a team. The motor wants to go fast, the ESC makes sure it can safely. What about the F540 bit? Is that important?
Yeah, the F540. That refers to the physical size of the motor can. The 540 size is probably the most common standard for 110 scale RC cars. It means it should physically fit in a huge number of different car chassis without much modification. It tells you about compatibility.
And the 110 RC car scale itself, why mention that specifically?
Well, 110 scale is sort of the sweet spot for many hobbyists. It's big enough to handle bumps and grass and looks substantial, but not so huge that it's unwieldy or super expensive. Specifying the scale helps potential buyers immediately know if this motor ESC combo is appropriate for their vehicle. A motor designed for a tiny 1/18 scale car would struggle in a 110, and one for a huge 18 scale might not even fit.
Right, so compatibility and managing expectations.
Okay.
And finally, it's sold as a combo set. Why package them together?
Convenience, mostly, and assurance. As we just discussed, matching the motor and ESC is important for performance and reliability. Selling them as a combo takes the guesswork out of it, especially for people maybe newer to the hobby or just upgrading. You know these two components are designed to work well together.
So they've optimized the pair.
Exactly. You get a balanced system right out of the box. It simplifies things for the user. It's smart marketing too. Ensures a better user experience, likely.
Okay, wow. So, yeah. From that one long technical name, the Dalatech waterproof F540 3300 kV brushless RC car motor plus 60A ESC combo set. We've actually unpacked quite a bit. It tells us about the intended use, rugged, fast, about the technology-efficient, durable brushless power, about the physical specs compatibility, and even market strategy convenience bundles, all for a 110 scale car available on Amazon.
It really illustrates the point, doesn't it? How much thought goes into defining even a single component. That very specific string of terms, F540, 3300 kV, brushless, 60A ESC, waterproof combo for that specific 110 scale application. It shows layers of deliberate engineering and market positioning. It's not just random specs. Each part contributes to defining its purpose, its target user, its expected performance. It makes you realize, well, it raises the question of how every single part in almost anything complex is chosen for a reason. There's an underlying logic, specific requirements it needs to meet.
That's a really interesting way to think about it. So let's leave you with this question. We just saw how much is packed into the details of one RC car component. What does that make you wonder about the stuff around you every day? Think about, I don't know, the device you're listening on right now, or your chair, or your coffee mug. What hidden layers of design, what specific choices might be telling a story you haven't noticed yet? Something to chew on.